So where have I been? Let's get into it. So first things first, it has been a while since I posted on my channel. A month since I last posted a video. That was at the end of September, and we're coming up on the end of November now. So the last time I posted a serious sit down, have fun video was 2 months ago, 4 months ago, for the last one that I actually put effort into. It has been something where there's been a lot happening, to say the least. Um, I broke this. I have a sticky note stuck to my phone so I can sit and read it. So if you see me looking down, that's why. First things first, I know I don't have a huge audience, but the audience do have, I would like to give kind of an explanation as to where I've gone, you know? Um, Between the two of us, we're both human, things happen in life, and that's just the way it goes. Fellas, I turned 21 back in September, and it's weird, you know. I got out of school a couple years ago. I've been working ever since. I'm one of the ones that I kind of just went straight into the workforce and cut college, you know, and you always sit and think if that was the right decision or not. But I enjoy not having tons of debt. You still got car payments and insurance and whatever else comes along, but other than that, getting into the personal, I lost a really good friend. Um, I always refer to him as my Vietnamese friend. I'm just going to refer to him as Kennedy. The boys that are watching, first off, what's up? Second off, it was good seeing you guys. We're going to have to do it again soon. Um, he was a great guy. Whenever I moved down to my old school town, I guess I'd call it. It's not my hometown, but I went to school there. He was one of the guys that I first met, and we kind of really hit it off. And he was part of the smaller group of guys that kind of teetered between liking FNAF, and then he was more of a Fortnite guy, but we were always around, in the circle with each other. Um, Super funny guy, but we lost him to an accident over in a foreign country. He went out doing something that he always wanted to do, travel, explore, and he was a great guy. Um, that's hit all of us pretty hard. The boys that knew him far more than I did, you know, we were all pretty tight knit, but, um, it's not a good feeling, you know. Sometimes you just sit and you think about it and you're like, you know, how could something like this have happened? You know, he was younger than I am by a little less than a year, but it's not a good feeling, you know. Um, then there's work. I work 40 hours a week plus overtime, when I can get it. Um, so I work the week, you know, and I come home and it's still pitch black outside, all that good stuff. I go in during the better parts of the day, come out, it's, 2, 3 in the morning. It's just one of those things where it takes time, you know. And then there's feelings. You feel less than what people would want of you. You feel less than what everybody thinks you are. You feel not as smart as you used to be, not as sharp as you used to be. You start forgetting, you get bound up, and you just feel exhausted all the time. It's just a general feeling of just downward spiral, I said downward spiral, I meant to do this, but, you just feel like you're falling. You've jumped out of the plane without a parachute, you're just free falling. And it's been, made worse by the fact that there's just been a lot going on, especially here in the United States. You know, let me put it this way. In 3 months, okay? September, my birthday month. We had the whole thing swoop through the nation of people celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Whether you're lefty or righty, I don't care. But that came through, slapped a bunch of people, like a brick. And you just see all this hate being spewed all over the place. And it hurts to see whenever you care about your country. You don't care about left or right. It hurts to see. And then my girlfriend and I broke up 2 days before my birthday. We were actually out celebrating my birthday, and by the end of it, we had agreed to break up. That sucked. Thankfully, we've resolved our issues and we're back together, but that sucked. October rolls around, October 8th. I call my friends and they're like, hey man, Kennedy's been gone, for like 3 days. Nobody knows where he is. I take off work. I go down and go see my boys. We get a couple updates from his family. They flew all the way out there. And I go home that night just thinking, they're going to find him. It's going to be okay. He's going to be there. I sitting there, telling the guys, oh, we got to hold it out. This is Kennedy we're talking about. He's all right. I drove 2 hours back home thinking the same thing. He's going to be okay. I go to bed, so I had to get up for work later that day. And 11 a.m. rolls around. I start asking around. I see something on Facebook of all places, that they had found a body. And it was him. And just even telling the story, it's kind of just putting yourself back into that position. And that's when I made my community post that I'm taking time away, and everything went through, and I took off work some more. We had his ceremony. He got took back to the U.S. My buddies traveled all the way down to Houston, Texas. I don't remember if it was Houston or Dallas, but they traveled all the way down to Texas to go and be with him. Whenever he came home, they wanted to be with him. I wish I could have been there with him. Terrible feeling. But it happened, You never want to go and see something like that. You always hope that you'll be long gone by the time any of your friends or family have something like this happen. 21 is not that age. 21 is not that age. And it hits you. If you're religious, you can kind of sit and say, I'll see you again. And that helps. But if you're not, what is there after death? Nothing. Just nothing. I feel for the people that aren't religious, because that's just, storybook is over. The end. You have nothing after this. And anyway, moving on. Not trying to take up too much of your time. I just feel exhausted. Both tired, I want to go to bed, but also just worn down. I'm tired of feeling like everything is just kind of, it's one of those things where, me personally, there's just so much going on, It's just not been a good time, my work's been kind of treating me a little poorly. I don't get paid a whole lot for what I do, and I do a lot in a night. I work 11-hour shifts, so you know, it's one of those things. It's not as much as I used to, but it's still kind of rough on you after a while. Your social life kind of takes a hit. Hence why my girlfriend and I broke up. But we're back together again. So I already said that. That being said, onto channel stuff. Let's move on to channel stuff. I've been working on Withered Bonnie and Withered Chica with Kendra, who is my girlfriend. Yes, we broke up. We got back together. Awesome. But yeah, here's Chica's head. It's not done. Obviously, I'm going to cut her jaw loose, and it'll be hanging down, as you can see here. There you go. And you can't really see through the eyes a whole lot, but I can see you just fine. But yeah, so there's a little sneak peek at Chica. She's definitely still a work in progress. Chica is going to be my girlfriend's suit. Bonnie is going to be my suit. So that's awesome. I found some cool Funko Pops I might do a review on later just to kind of get back into the swing of things. And I would like to talk about Ninjago Legacy for 2026 because I'm pretty excited about that. I've also been playing Halo a lot recently. I beat Halo 5 the other day. So that was fun. You know, something to get your mind off stuff going on. My gamer tag is CrossCrow5124. If you guys are interested in playing on Halo, you can add my gamer tag. And yeah, guys, I mean, I'm not the best player in the world, but you know, it'd still be fun to hang out with you guys. That being said, I haven't been feeling great, guys. I don't feel sick. I just feel sad, defeated, worn out. You know, I'm sitting here playing lo-fi in my bedroom whilst recording this, but I'm just tired, guys. I don't even feel the urge to keep up my appearance anymore. You can see I hate facial hair. I really do. I always have. But I'm just tired. I've been feeling better than I had been, but I'm worn out. And I appreciate you all taking your time to watch this video. Look at this. I wasn't kidding about the sticky note. Let's just take it, ball it up, and throw it away. Move on. As best we can. I'm going to have to pick that up later. That being said, thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next video, whenever that is. Peace out. Bye-bye. Deuces. I can get it to pause. Alright then, I guess